Picture this. You're standing on the edge of a cliff, the wind howling, waves crashing below. Life feels chaotic, overwhelming, like it's about to swallow you whole. Then someone hands you a book, Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. They tell you, Stoicism will save you. It's the key to unshakable calm, to mastering your emotions, to thriving no matter what life throws at you. You nod, inspired. Who wouldn't want that kind of inner strength? But what if I told you there's a shadow behind Stoicism's polished armor? A truth so unsettling it might make you rethink everything you've been sold about this ancient philosophy? Welcome to the Fi. Today, we're diving into the dark truth about Stoicism, what they don't tell you. Stick with me. This is going to hit deeper than you expect. Let's start with why Stoicism feels like a lifeline. In a world that's louder, faster, and more chaotic than ever, Stoicism promises something irresistible: control. Not over the world, because, let's face it, that's impossible, but over yourself. Your thoughts, your reactions, your peace. It's like a mental fortress. The Stoics, guys like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, live in a world not so different from ours. War, betrayal, disease, death, they dealt with it all. And they said, you can't control what happens, but you can control how you respond. Sounds empowering, right? Take Epictetus, a former slave who became one of history's greatest philosophers. He said, there's only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Simple but profound. Stoicism teaches you to focus on what's in your control, your actions, your mindset, and let go of the rest. It's why people today, drowning in anxiety or chasing likes on social media, turn to Stoicism for relief. It's like a mental detox. But here's where the story gets murky. That shiny promise of calm, it comes with a cost they don't always tell you about. Here's the first dark truth. Stoicism can feel like a prison for your emotions. The core of Stoicism is about mastering your passions, anger, fear, even joy, so they don't control you. Marcus Aurelius wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Sounds great in theory. Don't let the world rattle you. But what happens when you take that too far? Imagine this. You lose someone you love. Your heart is breaking, but your inner stoic whispers, don't feel too much. Don't let it consume you. So you swallow your grief, you push it down, because feeling deeply feels like failure. Or maybe you're furious. Someone betrayed you. But Stoicism says, anger is irrational. Let go. Over time, you start to wonder, am I even allowed to feel? I'm not saying the Stoics wanted you to be a robot. They didn't. Seneca himself was no stranger to emotion. He wrote about his own struggles with grief and fear. But the way Stoicism is sold today, especially in self-help circles, often ignores the nuance. It's like they're saying, just be calm. Always. And that's dangerous. Because suppressing your emotions doesn't make them disappear, it buries them. And buried emotions have a way of erupting when you least expect it. Let's talk about another shadow. Stoicism can make you feel alone. Really alone. The philosophy emphasizes self-reliance. Your happiness shouldn't depend on others, because people are unpredictable. Epictetus said, you become what you give your attention to. If you don't want to be angry, don't feed anger. It's about cultivating an inner citadel, a place where no one else can touch you. But here's the catch. Humans aren't islands. We're wired for connection. When you lean too hard into Stoicism's self-sufficiency, you risk building walls so high that no one can climb them. Not your friends, not your family, not even yourself. I read a story on X recently about someone who embraced Stoicism to cope with a toxic relationship. They trained themselves to stop caring about their partner's actions, to be indifferent. It worked, they felt free. but then they realized they couldn't feel close to anyone anymore. Their Stoic armor had become a cage. Marcus Aurelius, the poster child of Stoicism, wasn't exactly living the dream either. He was emperor of Rome, surrounded by people, yet his writings scream loneliness. He wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." But did he ever wish for someone to share that happiness with? We'll never know. What we do know is that Stoicism's focus on self can leave you standing alone on that cliff, wondering if anyone really knows you. Now, let's hit the third dark truth. Stoicism sets a bar that's almost impossible to reach. The Stoics talk about the sage, this ideal person who's perfectly virtuous, perfectly rational, untouched by life's chaos. Seneca wrote, "The wise man is neither raised up by prosperity nor cast down by adversity." Sounds inspiring, but also exhausting. Think about it. You're supposed to stay calm when your boss yells at you, when your car breaks down, when the world feels like it's falling apart. You're supposed to be the sage, always in control, always virtuous. But what happens when you're not? When you snap, when you cry, when you're just human? Stoicism doesn't always have an answer for that. It can make you feel like you're failing at life if you don't live up to this godlike ideal. I saw a post on X where someone said, "I tried Stoicism for a month, and it made me feel like I was auditioning for a role I'd never get." That's the trap. Stoicism can trick you into chasing perfection instead of embracing your messy, beautiful humanity. And when you fall short, the guilt can hit harder than the original pain. Here's where it gets really tricky. Stoicism might rob you of joy. Yeah, I said it. The philosophy is obsessed with equanimity, staying even-keeled no matter what. Epictetus said, "Demand not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do, and you will go on well." That's powerful. Accept reality as it is, and you'll find peace. But what about the highs? The moments of pure, unfiltered happiness? Stoicism doesn't tell you to chase ecstasy. In fact, it warns against it. Too much joy, the Stoics say, can make you soft, vulnerable to life's inevitable lows. But isn't that what makes life worth living? Those moments when you're laughing so hard you can't breathe, or when you're so in love it hurts. By flattening your emotions to avoid pain, you might also flatten the peaks that make life sparkle. I'm reminded of a story I heard about a guy who used Stoicism to get through a tough breakup. He trained himself to feel nothing, no anger, no sadness. It worked. But months later, he went to a concert with friends, and when everyone else was singing and dancing, he felt nothing. He'd numbed the pain, but he'd also numbed the joy. That's the paradox. Stoicism gives you armor, but it might weigh you down. So is Stoicism a lie? No, it's a tool, one of the most powerful ever created. But like any tool, it can hurt you if you don't use it right. The dark truths we've explored, emotional suppression, isolation, the perfection trap, the loss of joy, they're not reasons to ditch Stoicism. They're warnings to approach it with eyes wide open. Here's how to make Stoicism work for you without losing yourself. First, feel your feelings. The Stoics weren't against emotions. They were against being controlled by them. Seneca wrote, "We should not be slaves to our passions, but we should not be strangers to them either. Cry when you need to. Laugh when it feels right. Let yourself be human." Second, don't build walls, build bridges. Use Stoicism to strengthen your mind, but don't let it cut you off from others. Share your struggles, your victories, your life. And third, forget the sage. You're not aiming for perfection, you're aiming for progress. As modern philosopher Ryan Holiday says, Stoicism isn't about being cold. It's about being clear. Use it to see the world as it is, and yourself as you are, flawed but growing. So, Here we are back on that cliff. Stoicism can be your anchor, keeping you steady when the waves crash. But it can also be a weight, pulling you under if you let it define you. The dark truth about Stoicism is that it's not a cure-all. It's a path, one that can lead to strength, but also to struggle if you're not careful. The beauty is you get to choose how to walk it. Will you use Stoicism to numb yourself, to hide from the world, to chase an impossible ideal? Or will you use it to face life head-on, to feel deeply, to connect, to grow? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Maybe that's the real lesson. Don't just study Stoicism. Live it in your own way, with your own heart. Thanks for joining me on this journey. If this hit you, drop a like, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to The Five for more deep dives into the ideas that shape us. Until next time, keep questioning, keep feeling, keep growing. Before you go, let me know in the comments, what's your take on Stoicism? Has it helped you, or have you felt its shadows? And if you want to dive deeper into philosophy that makes you think and feel, check out our playlist right here. See you in the next one.